The head of the Alabama Democratic Party found herself in very hot water in 2007. She was indicted for several felonies and misdemeanors. The crooked Democrat was euphemistically hauled away in handcuffs over this. Former Secretary of State Nancy Worley wound up booked at the Montgomery County Jail and then was released on bond. She found herself locked up after an indictment came down charging the head Democrat with actions committed during her unsuccessful campaign for re-election last year. Worley is just one in a long line of Democrats who have been charged and arrested over the last year. Everything from fraud, to perjury, to sexual misconduct have headlined the news on these politicians. Taxpayers have forked over an immense amount to try Democrats for crimes they committed while serving as public officials. It's beginning to look like there are so few honest Democrats out there that states such as Alabama have become a stomping ground for people like Worley. During the 4 years she spent in office, she was challenged by numerous complaints. They ranged from charges of abusing her position by utilizing a gas-guzzling SUV that the state of Alabama paid for, to causing low morale among a number of employees who were very unhappy with her so-called leadership. One of those individuals was Ed Packard. I'm hoping that what this means is that the law that protects state employees is going to be enforced. I would love to know what he meant by that and exactly what she did to him. The indictment charges that Worley broke the law previously in one instance for writing a letter to her employees basically demanding that they vote for her. I want to ask for your support and your vote in the June 2006 Democratic primary election. The unsaid message there is, vote for me if you value your job. And there were other allegations over the years as well. This same woman has the gall to rant about Republicans who were allegedly kicked out of or ousted from office in Alabama for misconduct. She used this faulty reasoning to tell Alabamans that is why they should vote Democrat. Worley went on to say that she had always requested her employees not discriminate against anyone because of his or her politics, race, religion or social status. She said, "If you choose to support another candidate you have every right to make that decision without any problems from me." Evidently, that turned out to not be true. You won't be shocked in the least to know she's a huge supporter of Hillary Clinton as well. She learned very well from her mentor. Worley's attorney of course claims the above statement means employees were not pressured into contributing to her campaign. But Packard and others certainly see it differently. Aside from it being illegal, it just seems wrong for an elected official to request money or other kinds of campaign support from their subordinates because of that employer-employee relationship that could be coercive just by its very nature, he said. That's got to be a violation of campaign laws in that state. Packard also pointed to other items Worley sent employees, such as bumper stickers and an envelope to volunteer or request a yard sign. Packard says his complaint represents a number of workers who were reluctant to do anything about it, because they were afraid they would lose their jobs. Sound familiar? I didn't have any reluctance to file a complaint because I believe it takes people standing up and doing the right thing if we expect the right things to happen, he said. Good for him. That was the right thing to do, as well as the hard thing to do. Nancy Worley faces 5 misdemeanor and 5 felony charges. She did not want to go on camera to respond to the accusations against her, but she did say, quote, "This is happening to Democrats throughout the country who don't bow down to Republicans. No, this is happening to Democrats across the country because they are corrupt and break the law. No Republican made her do that. She is solely responsible for her own actions here." Her attorney James Anderson poo-pooed the indictments as much ado about nothing. I doubt a judge will see it that way, and although I would hope Worley enjoys life behind bars, she will probably not wind up there. The prosecutor in the case dropped the felony charges and only hit her with a misdemeanor. Funny how Democratic politicians just keep getting away with their crimes, isn't it? Nancy Worley was recently elected one of the Democratic Party's vice chairs. Another vice chair, Joe Reed, says, the indictments don't mean guilt and they don't affect her position with the party at all. And it hasn't. The Democrats are acting like she did absolutely nothing wrong. I might point out that this is not the first time Worley has been in trouble. She has refused to pay fines after pleading guilty stemming from charges in 2012. She finally paid upon those. Eventually, this woman will wind up in prison where she belongs. Alabama, you can do better than this.